Mm. Welcome back to the Power Trip Morning Show. Should be talking to Ryan Jeffers in a couple of minutes. I guess he's getting a haircut currently, so whenever his haircut's done, we'll check in with Ryan Jeffers. Ben Leber is here. Michael J. Mussman III is here. Hi, Muss.
Good morning. Who gets a haircut at 7 in the morning?
Well, he's out in Florida.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's 8.
Yeah.
Still, that's kind of early, but
it is a little early.
Well, I don't think he went to like Great Clips at 8 in the morning. I'm sure he's getting a professional, MLB haircut. Maybe they have a haircut person.
Oh, yeah. We can ask that. I bet you they have an in-house barber.
Did you guys?
Cool. Probably.
No, a lot of colleges do. We didn't. A lot of guys just they have their own guy.
Yeah.
They have their own guy.
Must be nice, though. I would just be like the cowardly lion at the end of The Wizard of Oz, just getting pampered if I was an MLB player.
Yeah.
Right? Bring me my coffee. Bring me some cinnamon rolls. Cut my hair. Let's do this.
It is kind of crazy, though, when you look at these new college locker rooms, these football locker rooms, like they're doing all the crazy like lights and everybody's got their own, high-tech wooden locker with all the little gadgets and stuff like that. And now they are putting in legit barbershops in the locker room.
I envision coming to America where, wipers.
Right.
I think
it's pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Speaking of grooming, that's a hell of a mustache you got there, Muss.
That's a real mustache.
You're really going for it.
Okay.
You're
Honestly,
going for it.
I forgot to shave this. So,
were you role playing?
Do you not look at yourself in the mirror at any point in time during the day?
I'll shave, but I'll shave like chops or I'll do something stupid just to piss my wife off.
How's it work?
And, she was already angry before the mustache.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
That couldn't have helped.
But so then I literally got in the Jeep this morning. I went, oh, son of a bitch, I forgot to shave it. So now I'm just going to let it flow.
Yeah, let it go.
It's a nice lip broom. It's kind of early, but
it's a choice.
Yeah,
lip broom.
It's a solid choice.
I wouldn't call it a lip broom. I call it something else.
Yeah.
Lip broom.
All right. So as Ryan Jeffers wraps up his haircut, Chris will do the news, and then whenever Ryan calls.
Yeah.
See what he's doing.
He's got to get a haircut.
We'll ask his.
What's he doing in there?
Stylist
This is KFAN News with Chris Hockey.
That's me.
Presented by the St. Paul Saints.
And that's
St. Paul
them.
Saints.
Thank you, Saints. They start their season the 31st of March. Coming right up, baby. It's going to be a long, hot summer. We should get together down at the Saints ball field. Am I right, Mussman?
You are correct.
But I'm not going anywhere till you shave that lip stash or whatever you're talking
The
about.
lip broom?
That's
he
it.
secretly loves it.
No,
I think it looks kind of nice now. Right?
Yeah, I think.
Okay, that was a heavy pause.
No.
That was
I was
a
waiting
heavy
for somebody else to say something, but yeah.
It looks nice.
No.
Looks
This is
good on
the
you.
second meanest thing someone has said to me in the last couple of days.
Nothing was said.
The first I was telling Hockey about this. I go and do a bit on a Saturday night. I'm in Hollywood, Minnesota.
What?
Watertown, Hollywood. It's actually unincorporated, but Hollywood Sports Complex. I walk in. This woman comes up to me, doesn't say hi, doesn't start up a conversation, just immediately walks over to me and just goes, "You look old." I'm like,
What?
well, thank you. I appreciate that. And she had a picture of me and her at a different event 7 years ago. And I'm like, wow, that one stung a little bit. Maybe that's why the stash. I think that's the
You look wiser. I wouldn't say you look older.
You look 7 years older.
wiser.
You look like you've been drinking a lot of Budweiser.
You are old balls.
You look wiser. You do.
Yeah.
Like, I would trust you with all sorts of advice.
Well, she didn't know she was going to run into Ned Flanders either. That didn't help.
Sorry about that.
You know what I'm saying?
I think it looks good.
I'm still reeling from that.
I think it fits you.
No.
It does.
How did the rest of that conversation go after she led with "you're old"?
What's that?
How did the rest of that conversation go?
She ended up being kind of nice, but yeah.
Kind of nice. Paul, your hands up.
Woodhawk.
Ooh,
Wait, yeah.
I probably,
A woman who says mean things is the first thing she says. You sure?
She's belittling.
You're old. Right this way.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Tell me more. Tell me how fat I am.
Oh.
All right, the news.
Yeah. I'll start over here, and we'll go that way. Saturday was a dream come true here in the state of Minnesota. Spring arrived in Minnesota, with temps reaching a record high. Did you guys know that? 77 degrees, cracking the day's record of 76 which was set in 1938.
It was beautiful.
For one day, a week after a giant snowstorm, we were breaking records with high temperatures. You just never know.
Ben missed all of it, man. What a week we had. Basically a blizzard, and then 6 days later, it was almost 80 degrees.
Yeah, we got real lucky when we flew out on Friday. Even though we had engine troubles and we couldn't get out until Saturday. All of that being said, that huge snowstorm that hit on Sunday, we completely avoided, which was nice.
Yeah.
And then you guys were warmer on Saturday than we were in Rosie's spot.
Oh, no.
Really? Oh, poor. Are you okay?
I'm going to make it. I'm going to power
Rosie's
through.
spot failed you. Mark.
How often do you name drop him when you're there? You just say like, hey, Rosie is the one that told me to come here.
All the time.
Yeah.
If there's not a reservation, I just say, well, Mark Rosen told me to come here.
Right.
It's under Mark.
Yeah, it's under Mark.
Yeah, put it on his tab.
Mr. Rosen?
Yeah. And that Parrish's credit card.
Mr. Rosen.
Yeah.
That's what they say?
I'm sure you've all seen the pictures by now. It's unbelievable, but a Air Canada plane hit a fire truck last night upon landing. Here's a news story that details it much better than I ever could.
Overnight, New York's LaGuardia Airport closed after an Air Canada Express flight collided with a fire truck on the tarmac.
There's probably 200 police officers and emergency response vehicles, and that plane is suspended on top of a vehicle.
Stop, truck one. Stop. Stop, truck one. Stop.
Air traffic data shows Air Canada flight 8646 from Montreal landed at LaGuardia at 11:40 p.m. Sometime shortly after touching down, the plane collided nose first with a fire truck.
646, I see you collide with a vehicle. Just hold position. I know you can't move. The vehicles are responding to you now.
Images show the plane's nose destroyed. The entire plane tilted up into the air. LaGuardia closing down immediately. The FAA issuing a ground stop for all planes headed to the airport.
Del 2603, go around. Runway heading 2000.
Air traffic controllers scrambling to divert other planes.
LaGuardia Airport is closed at this time. No aircraft in or out.
Moments before the incident,
Here's
the
the part.
truck could be heard asking controllers for permission to cross a runway. A controller apparently giving permission.
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower requesting to cross 4 at Delta. Truck 1 and Company, cross 4 at Delta. Truck 1 and Company crossing 4 at Delta.
Just last year, the FAA allowed airlines to operate fewer flights into New York due to congestion and air traffic control concerns. Again, we've learned 2 people were killed. 13 others were hospitalized with injuries. The pilot and co-pilot are among the victims.
Yeah, if you saw the front of the plane, I'm going to guess they were the victims that passed away. I mean, my goodness. How about that, though? The guy asked for permission, and they gave him permission. Just one little mistake like that, and it's it. Jeez Louise, man.
Yeah, how does that happen?
Tragic.
I don't know.
But man, that news story was compelling with all the air traffic and all that back and forth.
Yeah.
The real audio.
Yeah.
I am fascinated by all that air traffic control dialogue because it all sounds so fast. Like they all talk so fast.
Yeah, right.
It's like, did you even comprehend what they just said? And it's always kind of garbled.
Yeah.
It's never really clear. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not as clear as Ryan.
I think our guest is on the phone.
Okay, perfect.
There he is. So we'll wrap it up, the news, after we're done talking to our guest. Corey, would you like to punch him up?
All right, live from Florida and the end of spring training, Minnesota Twins star Ryan Jeffers. Hi, Ryan.
Hey.
Hey guys, how are you?
Good. How was the haircut?
It was great. So I was trying to push it as close to opening day as I could. So now we're nice and fresh and clean for the TV, and we're ready to go.
So
That's
how does
the most
that-
important part of spring?
Yeah.
Well, so we were just asking, how does that work? Because it's what 8:13 East Coast, right? So the Twins have like an in-house barber. Do you all use the same person? How does that work?
Yeah, we have a guy named Andy Fade. He's come down for he's worked with the Twins for probably 10 years now or so. He's been with us for a while, so he'll be at Target Field on home series, and then he comes down to spring training for a little while.
Did you go something exotic with the haircut, like frosted
Mohawk?
tips or something?
Yeah, right.
Nothing crazy, no big designs, nothing of that nature. I'm a little too pale for that.
Staying on the haircutting thing, because I was having this conversation over this last week with some friends. They have full heads of hair. I do not. I have to shave my head about every other day.
Yeah.
How often will you get your haircut during the season?
Usually every 2 weeks. Usually.
It's not bad.
Usually every 2 weeks, yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty much once a homestand, I'll get it cut.
Do you feel like you play better when you have a fresh haircut?
No, not at all. But I don't look so scraggly.
Yeah.
Right. Presentable, right?
My hair gets. I get full afro gets going in.
Yeah. I think 2 weeks is a good number for most men.
Well, I was shocked to
Every
hear
2 weeks.
one of the guys said once a month. I said, once a month?
That's letting it go a little
Yeah,
bit.
no, I look. Yeah, that'd be way too long for me.
Yeah.
So you guys leave, I assume, from Florida to Baltimore when? Wednesday?
Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday.
Tuesday after the game.
So then you have a day or two in Baltimore to get your feet set, and then the season starts for you guys on Thursday.
Yeah, we'll land Tuesday. We'll get into the hotel. I think our itinerary says 8 or 9. We'll get settled. I think we got to work out 12:30 to 2:30 on Wednesday at Camden, and then ready to roll on Thursday.
Ryan, what's your mindset? How do you really prepare for this season? You guys play 858 games, and I mean, is that really daunting for you, or do you have that mentality of you can't eat a full sandwich in one bite?
No, so it's at the same time it's a lot. We are used to the grind of it. We've been used to this is opening day number 6, so the shine has worn off a little bit. Where it's more of an excitement to get this thing rolling than anything.
When you showed up to spring training, compared to where you are right now this morning as we're talking, how much better do you feel and more prepared do you feel than you did the day you walked in? What does spring training do for you?
Oh, exponentially. It's when you show up, you're fighting through. You haven't seen live pitching in a long time. You're fighting through just getting behind the plate again, getting the body used to doing the things you do on a daily basis in the season that you don't get to do a lot in the off season. So once you get here, you're kind of getting your feet wet, and then as you get more ABs, the more comfortable you get at the plate. The more comfortable you get behind the plate. So it's definitely night and day. That's what spring training is for, to get you ready with things you can't do in the off season.
Ryan, what makes Joe Ryan such a great pitcher, and he will be the opening day pitcher for your Twins this Thursday?
Joe has shown, I think, over the last couple of years that he's one of the best pitchers in the game, and having him on our side is always, when you have guys like that, all-stars on your team, it makes everyone around them better, and having him be able to take the ball on opening day and go do his thing is exciting for us. I'm excited to work with him and catch him on opening day, and just it's really, it's when you can roll out arms that shut down opposing teams, and it gives you a lot of confidence as an offense to go score runs, and then the fact that you can win any of his starts on any day.
Anything giant as a change with the new manager this year?
No, there's nothing. No major differences in rules, or I think we're gonna play hard. We're gonna, he's the standard for how we play. It always starts at the top. The winning culture starts at the top, and I think when he sets the culture that he has so far in spring, it trickles down, and I think we're all ready to go out there and compete.
When do you start your mental preparation, or maybe you already have, with the Orioles lineup? I'm guessing that you and the scouting staff already pretty much know who's going to be in the starting lineup for Baltimore. So have you studied that already? Are you ready to go? Do you know kind of the strengths and weaknesses of most of the lineup?
No, not yet. I think that'll really start once we leave here. There's still too many logistical things going on here to spend a lot of our time, from me and from Vic and from Pete, on the scouting stuff. I know there's a lot going on behind the scenes. I know Harry and some of the analytics guys are digging into the reports now. So they'll be able to get us that information, probably once we leave. And then we'll sit down, whether it's that workout day or on Thursday, and do our pretty serious meeting and going over the guys and having a conversation about everybody. That's kind of how we do it in season. So there's no need to try and, switch up the schedule just because we have a couple extra days for opening day.
And I'm assuming all of that changes once the season gets going, because as a lot of players, you're going to work on your weaknesses in the off season. So you may think that this guy has a weakness. Maybe he worked on it. So I'm guessing that if you guys face Baltimore in July, it's probably a much different approach than opening day.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. Early season scouting reports are tough because you can only get so much data from a small sample size of spring training. You also how much do you really want to pull from the season before? Because like you said, guys maybe struggled with fastballs last year and spent the 4 months in the off season hitting fastballs. So early on in spring, early on in the season, it's a lot of, for me, a lot of reading swings and seeing how guys are reacting to certain pitches. Yeah, you're going off some reports, but you have to be willing to audible pretty quickly if you see something different.
Ryan, is it like in the NFL when you get early practices? A lot of times, the defense will have the advantage over the offense. Is it like that in baseball? Like from spring training to that first game, do the pitchers have an advantage, or do the batters have an advantage? Is there a difference between that?
I think statistically, the pitchers do have an advantage early on in the season. I think it's just you can only get prepped so much, and I think hitting is so much of a muscle memory thing that the more you do it, the more confident you feel, and the better you feel when you're up there. So I think the pitchers have a slight advantage early on, but I'm not sure how great it is now with how much we can do as hitters, to prepare ourselves.
Ryan, completely changing subjects for a second. I know you're a North Carolina guy, so are you pro-Duke or anti-Duke? Are you sweating them or anti-sweating them in the tournament?
I'm pretty neutral, actually, on Duke.
Neutral.
Growing up in Raleigh, you're either a UNC fan or a Duke fan. If you're neither, you usually gravitate towards the Wolfpack. So I was neither. I gravitated towards the Wolfpack, NC State. So I'm pretty neutral both ways. I like basketball is probably the one sport I've never really gotten into outside of the Duke-UNC rivalries. So I honestly haven't even been following much at all.
Do you guys have a big bracket bit, or can you guys not gamble on that like some of the other sports?
No, we do. We have fun in the locker room. We put together some brackets. The big thing with baseball, they come in all the time, say don't bet on baseball, don't bet on baseball. So they're very specific with that, but there's plenty of other sports that are allowed to bet on. So, we have some fun in the locker room with some fantasy stuff and with some fantasy football and then some bracket stuff for sure.
Speaking of the locker room, in the football world, the rookies before the season starts they'll take out the veterans and have this big dinner, and it's all in the rookies tab. I mean, everybody goes to the steakhouse and they go kind of crazy. Do you guys do that in baseball too, at either at the start of the season or some point in the season where the young guys kind of take out the vets or vice versa?
I think so. And the position groups in spring training, we go out as a catching group, and I think some of the pitchers go out, and there's definitely some joking about, hey, we're going to put it on your tab. I think at the NFL, they actually make the rookies pay for a lot of it. For us, we don't do a lot of that. We do definitely do the team meals, but there's a little bit more of the veteran leadership culture than putting it all on the rookies.
So you pay the tab with the catchers?
Me and Vic both did. Yep.
That's kind of you.
Dude, you're the best.
Yeah, you take out the staff, you take out the young guys, you take them all out.
Take us out.
Yeah, I'll go.
I know.
I'll take us out when you come back to the cities.
If I come up there and win initials again, I might have to.
Love it.
That's a nice flex.
Let's go. Yeah.
It is kind of fun to just be a one-time winner and then never have to get back in the arena, though, right? Then you could say you never
I think
lost.
That's the thing. It's like you win the Hunger Games once, you don't want to go back in.
Well said.
Exactly. Dude, good luck on Thursday. Good luck this season. Obviously, we'll talk to you down the road, man.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Ryan Jeffers and the Minnesota Twins starts Thursday at the Baltimore Orioles. And again, home openers a week from Friday against Tampa Bay.
And as we wrap up the news and go to break, because there's no good way to follow up this story, we'll use the end of news for this. But rest in peace, and our thoughts and prayers and everything with Jessie Pierce and her 3 children who passed away on Saturday morning early in a house fire. It's unbelievable. There's no way to talk about it in any way that makes any sense. Most of us knew her. Some of us knew her pretty well. Zach obviously knew her very well, but just heartbroken. And again, to her father, to her husband, to everybody involved who's hurting, and to the entire hockey community in the Twin Cities area. We all loved her. If you're up there listening, we're so sorry that happened to you. And take care of your babies. We love y'all. So there you go. Jesse Pierce, everybody rest in peace.
The Fan.
Never miss a moment of great sports updates and action by following us on social media. KFAN 1003 on Instagram, on TikTok, on X, and more. Follow us there.
Welcome back, Patrick Moore Show. Ben Mussman, Cast of Thousands. Ben, we've got sports to talk about, and I can't remember because I don't remember things, and, it's what happens when you get old. But had we officially signed the new quarterback before you left, or did it happen right after you left?
Who, Kyler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had already happened. All right, there you go. So never mind then.
Although the news of getting Wentz back happened.
That did happen.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well,
then you caught a whole bunch of hell on Twitter.
Oh, let's find out about it.
Time for Fan 5 on the Power Trip.
Brought to you by our friends at Circa. Thank you,
hell yeah.
Circa.
Hell yeah. Circa.
The best.
Vegas, man. Let's go.
The best.
Circa is
Love
the
it.
best.
The Timberwolves beat the Celtics in Boston, 102-92. I don't know why that's funny, Rose. Your Timberwolves were 10.5-point underdogs, and they won in Boston for the first time since 2005. Bones Highland.
Hang on, say that again. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what I read.
No
It's like an
kidding?
18-game streak or something ridiculous like that.
How is that even a thing? I mean, again, I know we sucked for a long time. Hadn't won in. That was like the same thing we had against Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't go to the East and win in the last 2 decades.
Nope.
Damn.
Way to go, Muss.
Did not know that.
I didn't do it.
Bones
Learn
Highland
something.
led the team in scoring with 23 off the bench. Your Wolves battle the Rockets on Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. That game will be on ESPN and this station.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't able to watch the game wall to wall, bell to bell, because I was watching Project Hail Mary. But I saw the highlights, and Bones was going crazy, man. He's been really, outside of Anthony Edwards, he's been one of the main stories of this Timberwolves team this season. Is just his ability to just catch fire. It completely flips the success rate of this team. When Bones is hitting shots, it's hard to beat this team, even sans Anthony Edwards. So it was an impressive win against Boston. They won pretty handily against, I would say right now, the favorite to come out of the East for the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
How long is your beloved cat going to be out? No, cat. Other animal with 3 legs.
He also loves cat.
Yeah. Maybe a week. Maybe another week.
That's true.
Is he only going to be out a week?
Yeah, I don't think it's something. I don't think it's really serious. I mean, Anthony Edwards isn't the kind of guy to just like sit down and milk it or anything like that. But I think they are resting him up for the playoffs. I think if it was he had to situation, I think he could play the next game. But
What about Cat?
I'm not sure how Cat's
Your
doing.
beloved cat.
How beloved cat is doing.
He hasn't narrowed it down to just one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got to be more specific.
Yeah, who else has an animal nickname in the NBA?
Yeah, right.
Birdman.
Yeah, Birdman.
Man.
Birdman.
Yeah.
Never forget. He was a legend.
Birdman, the rapper, also wails.
Also, well,
Just slammers.
they should get together.
Yeah.
No,
No.
it's not Birdman is the absolute best. Him and Manny Fresh.
Oh,
They should be in the
all-time.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
100%.
Oh,
They probably are.
They should be in the NFL Hall.
yeah, they should be in every Hall of Fame that's ever been invented. Yep.
Do you have another sports story?
Yes.
Yes.
The Gopher women's basketball team is going to the Sweet 16 for the first time after they beat Ole Miss 65-63 yesterday.
First time since 05.
First time since 05. Is that what I said?
You just said first time.
Oh, well, I have 2005 written down. I must
Skipped
have
it.
skipped over that.
Don't skip over
It's an
this.
exciting game.
Here's
man. I watched
JG.
that
McKinney and Braun join Grahalski. Grahalski to inbound. Get it into Amaya Battle. 15-foot baseline. Jumper is good! At the buzzer for the Sweet 16!
They will play the winner
Way to
of
go, Gursey.
UCLA or Oklahoma State. UCLA is a 26.5-point favorite tonight at 9. So they will likely play UCLA.
I loaded in 2 final calls. Was there time left on the clock after that?
They went back and put time on the clock. So, Ole Miss had like 0.8 left, and they shot a 3 and bricked it. So that it looked like a buzzer beater. That's why Gursey thought it was a buzzer beater.
Got it.
They went back and put time on the clock.
Yeah, because they stopped the clock right when they go through the net, right? Is that?
I think they said last night in the men's game when the ball leaves the bottom of the net.
Yeah.
So here's the actual final call.
Keanu will inbound. Groholski sags back off hers. They're trying to get it towards the rim. Thompson has it. Catch and shoot. It's short. The Gophers are going to Sacramento. The first Sweet 16 since 2005.
Way to go, Gerdsey.
Yeah, good for him.
Nice
Good-
call.
yeah, he's so good, man.
And they had a chance there. That
Yeah.
shot had a chance.
Yeah, it did.
Oofta. What we got there?
There you go.
Zacho, the Wild battle the Lightning tomorrow in Tampa at 6:30.
Yep. Great atmosphere Saturday. Great game. Wild played well and beat a very, very good team in overtime. Vladimir Tarasenko with the beautiful snipe. Doesn't get any easier. As Corey mentioned earlier, a lot of road games coming up here, 8 of the last 11. But we have a very good hockey team that is battle tested. So the Lightning are hot, but we are hotter.
Yeah. Well said.
Man, I hadn't seen some of these Chuck Norris jokes.
Oh, they're so good.
So good.
Man, there is no theory of evolution, just a list of animals Chuck Norris allows to live. Chuck Norris lost his virginity before his death. God said, "Let there be light," and Chuck Norris replied, "Say please." Chuck Norris once kicked a horse in the face. We now call those animals giraffes. Chuck Norris is the only person who can slam a revolving door.
Brilliant.
Chuck Norris can divide by 0. I like that one. Chuck Norris can strangle you with a cordless phone. And maybe the all-timer. Chuck Norris's tears can cure cancer. Too bad he has never cried. Oh, God. I wonder, did anybody ever, I'm sure he was asked this 1,000 times, did he ever give his take on the phenomenon, the Chuck Norris jokes? Like, did he love him, hate him? Was he indifferent to him?
I believe he did not like them at all.
Didn't care for him, but then embraced him later?
Then embraced him later. And I want to say, didn't he go on Letterman and do the top 10?
Oh, did he really?
His own Norris jokes? Yeah. Not the ones he made up, but the ones that are the... Yeah.
God, how could you not like those right away?
Oh, man. Yeah, who
Maybe
knows?
that's when it's creative right away.
Yeah, maybe it was just like if he thought that he was being made fun of. And it is, people, they're all in a way compliments. It's like you're the ultimate badass.
Yeah.
Chuck Norris's cowboy boots are made from real cowboys.
The one where Chuck Norris has never read a book. He just stares at it until he gets the information he wants.
Chuck Norris can hear sign language.
What about the one Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups, he does earth downs?
I like that one. That's good. Yep. Go ahead.
I got audio of him doing in his own Chuck Norris joke. He's holding a picture of him with a tiger, and he's explaining basically the how it went down here.
Went in, and I bent down and I petted him, and all of a sudden you heard this like that. So the trainer says, "Get up very slowly and back up." So the tiger did. He slowly got up and backed out.
That's brilliant. Yeah. See.
Did you guys see that thing on social media about Jessica Simpson from her book?
How about that?
Yeah, did you read that?
I did.
No. She went to Chuck Norris acting school.
Yeah.
Her mom sent her to Chuck Norris acting school.
That was a real thing.
That's a real thing. And that was it Dallas or Fort Worth or something like that?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah. And it was like basically the height of his, was it Walker, Texas Ranger?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think Jessica said she was maybe, 11 or 12?
Yeah, pretty young like that, yeah.
Pretty young.
Yeah.
And I guess like he was real hard on her.
He said, you use too much expression in your face. And he showed her, who was it? Steven Seagal or somebody like that?
No, it's Denzel Washington.
Denzel Washington, that's right, yeah. Of him acting, and said he doesn't ever use his eyebrows or raise his eyebrows. That's what you need to do. Something like that,
Yeah.
am I right?
Yeah, he said basically Denzel Washington's the greatest actor of all time because he can convey every emotion in every scene without really using his eyebrows. Which I don't know if that's what makes you a great actor.
I
but
need to see it now.
I know. Now I need.
No offense to Chuck Norris, but I don't know if anybody ever thought Chuck Norris was a great actor either. He was just an actor. But
dare you?
The Walker,
It sounds like a cash grab.
Again, as a guy that I just worship Conan O'Brien, one of my favorite bits they ever did was the Walker Texas Ranger lever that he would pull that would just randomly show Walker Texas Ranger highlights. You guys familiar with this bit?
No.
I don't know if I can do it justice, but I'll show you guys during the break. It's one of the best clips in the history of Conan's late night show. He hints at like one clip that they had never played because they weren't sure if they should or could. And essentially they wrapped up the bit after a handful of years of pulling the Walker Texas Ranger lever with a clip from Haley Joel Osment that went viral over the weekend where he says, Walker told me I have AIDS. And it had 24 hours after Chuck died where that thing went viral as well. Everybody going, this is the greatest bit of all time. Chuck Norris has almost nothing to do with it. He's technically in the clip because it's a Walker Texas Ranger clip, but it has nothing to do with Chuck. But god dang it, is that funny?
Yeah.
You got to see it again. I can't do it justice.
Doesn't Haley Joe Osment basically go, I'm good, but Walker told me I have AIDS.
Kind of,
that like the punchline?
It just he's talking about something else and then just completely changes the subject and says, Walker told me I have AIDS.
God.
And Conan's reaction to it, and I don't know if that was always the plan. Like, hey, why don't we just do this for a couple of years and then drop the Haley Joel Osment bomb at the end? Yeah. This is like pre-Sixth Sense, obviously, too. Yeah. So like, I don't think he was a thing yet. It's just weird to see little Haley Joel Osment dropping that line. It's unbelievable. It's worth your 90 seconds if you find it today. It's one of my all-time favorite Conan bits. All right. We teased that we were going to ask you about your Carson Wentz backlash when you were at Rosie's spot catching hell.
Way to go.
You posted a video. Let's talk to Ben Leber about Carson Wentz after this on The Fan.
Here we are at 7:46. You've been waiting all morning for this. We know that. It's time for Vikings News with Ben Leber.
It's time for Vikings News on the Power Trip, presented by
Redco. It's Redco. They're your truck accessory pro stores. And you got some explaining to do, mister.
Yeah, Ben, geez, all you did was say, hey, it's good to have Carson back in the mix, and it's going to be a battle, and you caught just 9 kinds of hell.
Oh yeah, I caught so much crap for that, which is fine. I mean, I think that's the beauty and the fun of this time of year, especially when there's so much up in the air that we all claim to know, and I understand where people are coming from. Like I get like why it just seems right now it's easy to presume that Kyler Murray is the starting quarterback, but I did want to, because X/Twitter is like the worst for actually providing context, because if your text is too long, you just tune out. Like there's like, I'm not reading all that. Like, right. So you're trying to be concise and a little pithy. And so I basically said that, yeah, it's great to have Carson back. I said, as of right now, I put the depth chart at Carson 1, Kyler 2, and then JJ McCarthy at 3. And it just like, man, just attacked from everybody saying I had lost my mind.
Yeah, why did you do that? That's insane.
I know. Yeah.
Did you lose it?
I agree with you.
I did. Yeah, I lost it there for a second. When I don't have caffeine for a while and then I get back on it, it's just like I'm out of mind, out of body.
You know what my favorite thing too is the amount of people that were like, Ben doesn't actually believe this. He's just rage baiting.
Oh, I know. Yeah. It's funny.
You're just trying to piss people off.
I wasn't going to bring that up, but it's so funny that when I got to some of those comments, I'm like, man, I never intended to rage bait and get clickbait, but I guess this is how it works, right? If I was doing an exercise on how to practice getting clickbait, I guess it is to do stuff like this. So, no, that certainly was not my intention. I mean, so to give full context here, I do not want to go into the season just automatically anointing a quarterback, and I think that is careless. I think it's irresponsible. I don't think it's doing your due diligence. I don't think, and really it flies in the face of what they've said in the offseason. The whole offseason in this early parts is we want to add veteran quarterbacks that have starting caliber to provide competition, because we all know that competition in every position brings out the best of everybody at that spot. And they want to go in because of what happened last year, basically anointing J.J. McCarthy, having no backup quarterback that can push him because they lost out on Daniel Jones. They wanted to bring in real competition. So if that's the case, then let it be an open.
Sorry.
If that's the case, then let it be an open competition. And I truly think that is the mindset they're going to be going with once OTAs start. Now, Kyler probably in their mind is on top of the depth chart. But as I look at it right now, I don't think that how you can say that. The guy has so many question marks, Kyler Murray speaking of. Yeah. He has so many question marks about whether or not he can fit within this offense. There's going to have to be a compromise from KOC and the plays that he calls and the type of style that he wants from his quarterback. And also there's going to have to be a meter of movement with Kyler Murray in what he can actually do in this offense. I'm sure you guys have already talked about it. The amount of under center plays that Kyler Murray has faced in his first, 7 years in Arizona is a fraction of what KOC wants. Virtually in the first 5 years with Cliff Kingsbury, it was something like 90% shotgun, 10% under center. When the new regime comes in, they go a little bit more of a pro-style offense. And they increased his volume of under center up to 25%. KOC likes to, I looked at Sam Darnold's year that he was here with us. I think he was under center 45% of the time. So if that's the barometer, if that's like the new standard, the new KOC standard of like, this is where we want our quarterbacks to be. Look what Sam Darnold did. Well, we got to go from 25% under center to 45%. And we all know that's not going to happen. He's not going to get to 45%. But where is that compromise? Where does that look like? 35%, 37%? You look at what Carson Wentz did, it was much more in that 40%. So Carson, to me, barring any sort of injury, and I think that we all were sort of wowed by his 3 weeks of coming into this team and then having to take over the team. And we're like, damn, this guy can actually kind of sling it. He can actually play. Our offense is actually kind of efficient. We're moving the ball. We're much more explosive. We're getting the ball down the field. The whole offense is open up. We don't have to negate middle of the field throws because J.J. McCarthy can't make those. We can use the whole field with Carson Wentz. So as of today, mid-March, I think Carson Wentz is a better fit for this offense. Do I think Kyler Murray is going to win out? Yes. Yes, I do think that on opening day, it's going to be Kyler Murray. But I think it has to be a true competition. And I do not think, especially the money that you're paying these quarterbacks, you don't have to anoint anybody.
Right.
If Carson ends up being the best quarterback through OTA's minicamp and the early parts of training camp, I think you play the damn guy. You start him. If he's actually truly winning a competition. I know a lot of people would get upset by that if Kyler was the backup quarterback to start the season, but I would completely understand if we're watching training camp and mini camp and we're like, this guy is good when he can scramble, but he can't stay within the offense. It's the same. It's like the same thing that happened with Josh Dobbs. The second you actually start to put him into the actual offense and make him do the progression, he failed.
So that's wave one of the argument, right, is Kyler versus Carson. But like when we heard the news that they were going to bring back Wentz, our confusion was, well, what does this mean for McCarthy? Because if you're going to bring in Kyler to be the starter, it makes sense that, all right, JJ's your backup. You're going to find some rando to be the third, whether it's Brosmer or whatever, but you find a flyer to be the developmental kind of third stringer. But it looks like the Vikings have no interest in having inexperience behind Kyler Murray. But what does this mean now for JJ? That Wentz is on board, and he's not a developmental guy. He's not a flyer. He's a 33-year-old veteran.
Well, again, I don't know if I'm going with my idea that it's a true competition. I don't know. I mean, the narrative that they keep talking about is moving the timeline back. This is not necessarily the timeline that they had in mind. It sounds like, now in retrospect, they wanted Daniel Jones to be the quarterback. They wanted JJ to sit another year. That didn't happen. So now you saw what he looked like and how he handled his business this year. Now it sounds like they're willing to have him sit another year. So if that's the case, then really it's a two-man race between Kyler and Carson Wentz. And I think we all know that it's going to be Kyler that's going to win out. But it sounds like to me that they are comfortable having him sit and learn. And you know, if it comes out that he somehow, after all of this offseason going to train with John Beck, this quarterback guru down in Southern California, if he comes back from this offseason and looks like a completely different player and maybe kind of ditches the face paint and kind of matures a little bit and do all this other stuff, maybe there's an outside chance that he takes a major leap into year three. But I don't think that that's necessarily what they're thinking at this point.
Is it possible that, speaking of major leaps, a healthy Carson Wentz can take a major leap in this offense?
Well, that's kind of the whole premise of what I was talking about. I mean,
do you see that being a viable, from what you saw before he got?
I don't see why he couldn't.
Yeah.
You know, he has a 6-month lead on Kyler Murray when it comes to learning the playbook. So again, per my post, as of right now, going into OTAs in April and May, I think that he would hit the ground running and be like, we don't have to pare anything down with this guy. This guy knows this offense. We don't have to take anything away. Now it's going to be a matter of just who can be a more productive quarterback, whether you're more productive by getting the ball down the field via your arm, or like Kyler Murray, using your legs to extend some time and then getting the ball down the field. I mean, it's going to be a polarizing competition because obviously you can't match Kyler's athleticism, but what Carson can do is give KOC the confidence that he can run his offense.
Right. Well, and Carson took a beating. I mean, we got that offensive line that has the same kind of issues as last year. I don't know if any one of these quarterbacks are going to have a lot of success, but I do like the idea of Carson Wentz, who has all that, you know, the veteran years under his belt, how he looked in our offense when he came in, as you mentioned, you know, just 3 weeks in, and all of a sudden he's throwing the ball downfield. It looked more like KOC's offense. And then you got Murray has to learn this offense, and then you got a guy who's only played 10 games. So to me, it feels like, yeah, Carson Wentz. I think at the end of the year, Carson Wentz will have way more starts than either of the other two.
Oh my!
Okay. I'll take that bet. Here's the other thing too, though, that this does for you with the 3 quarterbacks that you have in a quarterback draft that'll probably have 2 guys go in the top 75. It's not a great quarterback draft.
No,
you have teams like Arizona, you have teams like the Rams who could use a younger quarterback, and all these other teams, the Jets, these teams that need quarterbacks that might say, would you take it? Like, there are teams that might trade for McCarthy. This gives them a landing spot or a protection against that with Carson Wentz. There is a team that might say, we'll give you a 2nd-round pick for him. We'll give you a 3rd-round pick for him. It would be tough to say no. And now with Wentz, you have 2 capable quarterbacks if you go that route. I'm telling you, it's not 0, but teams might call for him knowing you have all these quarterbacks.
Well, it gives you options, right?
Yeah.
And I think that is one thing that we felt like going into last year was we didn't have an option. And now you put yourself in a position to have a little bit of options. Now, do I think that they're going to trade J.J. McCarthy a project that costs you basically nothing? No, I don't think. I mean, it'd have to be a really, really sweet deal. But also, what a gut punch if you play this thing out and he goes and backs up Matthew Stafford for 1 year, and then all of a sudden, with 2 years still remaining on his contract, let's say he blows it up and the Rams are like, huh, we just got this guy for a 3rd-round pick.
It's a similar offense.
It's a similar offense. Like, you know how devastating that would be, I think, for Vikings fans to see what you thought was your future franchise quarterback hit a little bit of a rocky patch. We get rid of him and lose patience with him, and he goes and plays for a team and becomes a franchise quarterback on a championship caliber team.
That's a very Minnesota Vikings thing.
Right. So that's why I'm like, I'm not willing to give up on McCarthy as of right now. Not at all. Do I think that he needs to grow in certain areas? For sure. But he's so cheap, I just don't see why we would give up on him right now.
Yeah. Where's his mindset, would you think? Where he's sitting there, okay, they bring in Kyler. Okay, yeah. Carson they bring in as well. People are saying I might be 3rd on the depth chart.
Well, it's honestly, it's
and he's
great.
a very young man yet.
I hope it's in a really good spot. I hope it's in that, he wants to give this persona with 9 that he's got this dog mentality, and he's shown it in certain games. I mean, that's the one thing that he's shown a ton of moxie. I don't know his childhood and his upbringing like to a T and with all this detail, but it seems like to me this is the most professional adversity he's ever faced. So it's good. Good for him. I hope he comes out of it on the other side a much better quarterback and a better person because of it. It's not easy. It's going to feel like every day you've got to prove yourself, but damn, that's what competition is, man. Like, you either rise up or you sink, and that's the harsh reality of the NFL, and that's why you get paid the big bucks, and that's why if you come out of this on top, you're going to be a $40, $50 million type of player if you can go out and prove it that you can be a franchise quarterback. But this is the hard road that he's got to face, and I hope that he meets it head on.
That's Ben Leber, brought to you by our friends at Mystic Lake. Thank you, Ben.
Fan 5 in a second. Headlines later. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on the Fan.